Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, and ring the bell, and let's get right into the video. So if you were on my live, this is like directly from my live. Sorry, the cord moves out of the way eventually. I would say sorry because I was out of frame for most of the parts, but you know, I salvage what I can. I already sculpted my clear base layer, which is kind of like a foundation of where I'm supposed to be going with the color. So all I'm doing is coloring in the nail right now. It's coloring in the nail right now. Using Bomb Nails Exposed, I believe. And Elski Forms, Model 1's Clear, Mia Secret Monomer, and Blue Shop Towels. And I like this angle way better, but now because I wasn't really looking at the screen while I was doing it, I kind of was, and I could kind of see that it was out of frame, but I didn't think it was this bad, because like you see right here, like it looks normal, and this is when I would look at it, and then I would look away, and when I looked away, I would pull my hand back or flip it up top, so I could see the top of the nail from like flat, instead of having it to where like I'm folding my hand like this, and I would like flip it flat and it would throw it out of frame. So I know that now, but now that I know, I like this angle better, and it doesn't have the tripod in the way, because I can't use my arm mount because it's for my phone only. So yeah, everything I use is from Amazon. I'm using a Beetles number 10 brush, and then I switched to the Beetles number 12 brush, which, you know, the Beetles brushes run pretty large. So yeah, so this video is going up on Wednesday, which is tomorrow for me, and I have another video coming up which I have to record tomorrow. So I'm trying to get this thing going, trying to get it moving, because like you see, that's when I moved the cord, because then I realized it was in the way when I looked. So for now, what I'm using is the 12 to encapsulate, because I don't build the complete thickness up with the color, because the glitter is just so pretty, but at the same time I don't want to use so much of it because it is just 1 ounce. So I was just like, nah. Also, I ordered some more stuff from Amazon, which was the number 12 brush, and I ordered a pan of drill bit. A haul video may be coming. It depends when the products arrive to me, but I did order from Anna Acrylics. Well, it's Anna Acrylics technically. And I'm sorry that I'm like rubbing the brush in there so hard, but the reason why I'm doing that is because the Model 1's Clear is extremely sticky, and I soaked my brushes for so long the next day, because like it was already late, right? And I was on my phone during the live, not too much, like not too crazy, but that's because I was doing a lot of stuff at one time. So that's why I was also out of frame, because I was paying attention to what I was doing, but not really mindful of the camera. So that was my bad. But yes, I'm using number 10 to build the entire nail, and I'm using the 22 to sculpt, not sculpt, but to encapsulate, because it's going to pick up more monomer, more clear, and it just, because like at this point I didn't realize the reason, like the reason why I was rubbing it in there like so hard was to get some of the stickiness and the gunk out of the brush. Which, when I was editing this, I was like, oh, that's why I was doing that, because you could literally still see like the clear in there. So like, I don't really like it to sculpt. I think I tried out, yes, I was messing around with the JC Beauty Concepts Color Blush, and I still use the Mia Secret Monomer, and it worked so much better for sculpting versus the clear, because the clear, when it gets, so it starts off really wet, then it gets sticky, and then it gets like workable and pliable. So if you try and work while it's still sticky, but it's setting up so you can work with it, but it's, no matter how much monomer you add to your brush, how much you wet your brush, it's still going to stick. And when it sticks, it gets stuck inside your brush. So then you're trying to get that out, but then it's starting to like droop on the sides, and you're trying to clean it up. But once it gets to that pliable stage, it gets ready to set. So you do have workability with it technically, but you don't want to work with it when it's in the sticky phase. Like, you see how right there I just blended it out easily, but as I build the nail up and up and up and up, and the rest of the nails, it starts to get sticky because I'm trying to work with it when it's in its sticky phase instead of in its like pliable phase or its wet phase, which I prefer the wet. So, because like when clear is really, really wet, it's gonna conform to more textures, meaning it's gonna encapsulate everything you need without you having to use a ton. If your bead is too dry, it's gonna create bubbles and all that, but also if it's like super, super, super wet, you might create bubbles that way. But I just like to use it at a nice wet texture, but not to where it's like dripping. So the nails have set up at this point. I've taken the form off. I didn't want to let you guys take the form off because I struggled because it was like stuck on there real good. I did put the form on camera and all that, but didn't work for me trying to like put it on there. I'm cleaning up the hangover bits right now because, like I said, the clear, when it's in its sticky phase, it's mainly for when you're sculpting the base. It's horrible because you have to like continue to mold it out in the shape you want, but when you set it down and you drain out most of the monomer, it doesn't go to the wet phase for as long. It just goes into the sticky phase faster. So it gets incredibly sticky while you're trying to work, and then it starts to get like regular clear and starts to mold, but that's after a while. So I'm using my Pana 5-in-1 drill bit, and I'm cleaning up the excess hangover. So my drill was going really fast, so it could just glide through. Because one thing I noticed is I have my bit too slow, so it's leaving deep striations in the nail even though I'm not really leaving it there for long. So with these, I didn't get much deep striations like after I filed and all that stuff, because I did a lot of filing. As you'll see, like, because I did like the peel off top coat, base coat method. I call it a base coat because it's like the first layer on the nails, but it's actually top coat. So yeah, don't get that confused. I even show you how I did it near the end of the video, because like I said, it did pop off when I was filing, because it's on there like very loosely. So the more you file and the more you agitate it, the more it's gonna pop off. So, and if you don't do it correctly, it'll end catastrophically. Some parts will release, some parts won't release. It's a lot. So now I'm getting off majority of the bulk, cleaning up the cuticle area, because I just don't like to see the cuticle area like not neat, I guess is the word. If it's not neat, it doesn't look right to me. Like, I can't envision what I need to envision. So I pull in the sides, and remember, my drill is going extremely fast just so it doesn't skip, and it's just going, it's not going like at full speed, but it's going like mid to high speed. So like it's going so it doesn't skip on me and it doesn't get caught, and it what is the word? It doesn't like take like uneven chunks off. So I'm pulling in the sides because, like I said, that clear layer, even though I'm working on a dark form, like I can see it perfectly. Like I can see where the clear was going. Like it it makes so much sense because like because I didn't know that you can make it really thin. Like you can make it match your sidewalls without it having to be super wide or out of control and all that kind of stuff. So like you can see how much hang there was to the nail. But now that I've practiced with the cover blush and I've watched more sculpting videos, I think I've gotten the hang of it. I am going to make another sculpting video soon on the practice hand. So I really, really, really enjoyed sculpting. I thought it was going to be way harder than it actually was. But I've always wanted to try sculpting, but I still love tips, don't get me wrong. So yeah, this part is pretty boring. It's pretty much going to be a chit chat video if you haven't figured it out. Yeah, I've been talking for 10 minutes, 11 now, and the video only has 18 minutes, so definitely a chit chat video. Now I'm using my Car Lash 8080 grit file, and I'm fixing up the sides, and this is kind of like where the nail pops off, but it's like a little bit later. So this is primarily like a filing video, not mostly like the application, because like when you mess up so bad like I did, you have to learn how to clean it up. And so now I learned how to clean it up, but in me learning how to clean it up, and recording it and editing it, I've seen my mistakes I've made and I know how to fix them. And you see, look, boom, popped off right there. And with the top coat method, it just peels off so well and it just works, right? So I didn't glue it back on yet because I was like, am I gonna glue it on? Am I gonna do the top coat, base coat method? Remember, only use top coat for it. Do not use base coat. If you use base coat, it will stick on your nose and it will not come off. But if your nail does get stuck on there, you can like wiggle it around and it'll start to lift up in certain areas, and it'll be enough for you to use 100% acetone and push it to where like because it's gonna be lifting your cuticle area first. You can push it and dunk it in the acetone, hold it there while you're pushing the nail, and that top coat, because it has a ton of cuticle oil and it's not really adhered onto your nail properly, it's just gonna melt it completely off, and you just want to push it more, and don't push it to where you're gonna like hurt yourself, but like push it to where the acetone can get in and melt the base coat off, not the base coat, the peel off base coat I should say, from underneath the nail, right? So here I am refining the shape. I hope that made sense. But yeah, because it's gonna lift. That's the thing that I noticed when I was peeling it off, was it was lifting and I knew it was gonna lift. So when you do that, you just have to make sure the acetone can get underneath the acrylic, because again, it's not attached to your nail, but it might put some pressure on your nail, so be careful. Don't like force it off. Let the acetone do the work. You might need to put your hand in all different kind of positions with the nail, the acrylic pushed back like off of the nail, if that makes sense. But yeah, so now I'm going back in with the drill because like I said, it was just so messed up. Like there was clear extended out from every direction of the nail. So you have to get all that off first, and you're still not at the shape you want, because then the pink acrylic kind of followed the shape, because like I said, I used it as a guide and kind of painted the rest. So of course you have to like fix it even more. So now I'm doing the peel off base coat method is what I'm going to call it, which is cuticle oil, rub that first layer in. Right? If you don't want your hands oily, then use a paper towel. And then after the first layer is rubbed in, second layer, you go in immediately and you rub that in and make sure it gets to your cuticle area, your free edge, your sidewalls, all of it. So you can add even more. Then when you do the top coat, you want to make sure you glide the top coat over the nail. You want to make sure it's enough top coat to where if you have any like ridges in your nails because like your nails are damaged or anything like that, then you want to make sure it is a nice thick coat, even if your nails aren't damaged, right? You want a nice coat, and you want to put on 90-second mode and have your finger pulled back outside of the light, but so you can see the light is still hitting it, and then inch it closer ever so slightly, because even here it wasn't burning necessarily, but it was starting to get a little tingly. And then, like you see, once the light ramped up, it was already pretty much cured, so I bumped it up and put my hand in there like all the way. Then you put more top coat on once it comes out, and you let it cure for the full 90 seconds, and then put the top coat on it. And you want to rub that in. And if you don't want your hands to be oily, use paper towel, use a lint-free cloth, use something, and block that oil, but continue to add more. And like when you're filing, it will pop off. If you do the method properly, all you gotta do is reapply the base and glue it on, or you can just glue it on and then soak it off with some acetone, because again, it is gonna lift. But if you put glue straight to your natural nail, it's gonna adhere on there as if it was a press-on. And even when you don't prep your press-ons, they last for 3 days. From what I've noticed for myself, they last for 3 days. And then if you prep your nails properly, push back your cuticles, rough the surface up, they last for like a week, 3 weeks, depending on how rough you are with your hands. And now I'm going in with a red buffer to smooth out all the scratches. And the shape with the stiletto, because like I said, I did it too wide, and it was more of a oval, and the part that actually was stiletto, it was only clear, so I ended up filing that off. So in these finished photos, you're gonna see me like completely transform all the shapes, make them even more narrow, which I did off stream because I just couldn't really see. Like I could, but it wasn't like, because here I was like, oh my god, look how good it looks, like wow. But then I was like, no. And I used Swipe and a manicure brush, and now I'm going with the Beetles top coat again. And I really enjoyed the Beetles top coat. It's very thick, you don't need much of it. And like I said, you just want to float over the nail. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this chit chat video with me. There's going to be a lot more videos coming as usual. I'm hoping I can stick to my schedule I had now that I'm in the swing of things. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, and ring the bell. I upload every Wednesday and Sunday, and I go live every Friday. So I'll see you in my next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.